this is Dan Heisman, and we're back with our third series in our Chess FM instructional videos. I'm glad to be with you again to go over some basic ways that you can get better at chess. Today I've decided to discuss queen against pawn on the 7th rank. This is a part of chess that's called technique. Technique is winning a one game, and queen against pawn on the 7th rank is something that's good to know, and it's also the kind of information that can be covered very nicely in one video. So let's get started. A lot of people in this position who are not experienced start checking the black king to try to stop it from getting to an optimum square. However, moves like queen to g3 check or queen to e5 check are all not correct. The right way to look at a position like this, when the king is not guarding the promotion square, is consider the promotion square and consider the square that the king needs to go to get to guard the promotion square. In this case, there's only one, and we can circle those two squares f1 and e2. If white can control that diagonal, both the e2 and the f1 square, then black will be unable to guard the promotion square and white can win at his leisure. Therefore, the correct move, if we draw a line through the diagonal, is to play queen to b5. Now it really doesn't matter what black plays. Let's say black plays king to f3. White can then go to the promotion square, queen to f1, and we now have a position which I've called in my novice nook column going to sleep in the endgame. That is, white doesn't have any more worries in this position. He can basically go to sleep because there's no way that black can generate any threats. The pawn can never promote and the king can never attack the queen, so that the queen has to move. At this point, white would win easily, as black's king would be zugzwanged away from the pawn. For instance, king e3, king c7, king f3, king c6, king e3, king c5, king f3, king d4, and now notice black has to give way, king to g3, king to e3, and white would win. So as we can see in this position, black does not have the requisite control of the f1 square, and instead of a queen versus pawn on the 7th type of problem, this is a go to sleep type of position, which is of course much easier for white. Alright, now let's get back to the basic pawn on the 7th position where the king can guard the promotion square, and there's 4 cases we have to look at. They're each mirrored around the D and E file. So the first one is the D and E pawns, or as we say, the king, queen, or center pawns. The second case would be the F and C pawns. The third case would be the B and G pawns. And the final case are the rook pawns, the A and H pawn. So let's start with a basic center pawn case. And here it's white to play and win. Of course, if it were black to play, black would promote, get a queen, and the two players would shake hands on a draw. Now let me stop for a second. Take a look at the board. If you were black here, what would you do? When I gave this problem to several of my students, they immediately went back into the corner. Okay. I'm Dan Heisman, and we've been looking at queen against pawn on the 7th rank, one of our Chess FM instruction series. We have quite a few other videos. For the first 2 sets, we have 10 other instructional videos. This set will add another 5 or 6 to that, all about how to get better at chess. They're not just on endgames, they're not just on openings, they're on all different facets of getting better at chess, including time management and thought process, and I hope you come back for more for ICC and Chess FM. This is Dan Heisman. Thanks for tuning in.